By subscribing to our channel, you become a part of our growing community of brave souls who dare to venture into the darkness. Subscribing not only ensures you never miss a spine-tingling tale, but it also empowers us to conjure even more chilling content for your enjoyment.
The evening air was tinged with excitement and anticipation as passengers from all walks of life boarded the Serenity. Couples in elegant attire, families with wide-eyed children, and solitary travelers seeking solitude made their way onto the gleaming vessel. The moon hung low on the horizon, casting a silver sheen on the calm waters. On board, the ship's interior exuded opulence, with chandeliers casting a warm glow over marble floors. Passengers explored their cabins, admiring the plush furnishings and ocean view balconies. Some were drawn to the ship's history, eager to uncover the stories behind its past voyages. As the ship pulled away from the dock, a sense of adventure filled the hearts of the passengers. Unbeknownst to them, they were setting sail on a journey that would forever change their lives. In the heart of the ship, cabin 666 awaited its unsuspecting occupants. The family of three that had booked the cabin initially felt excitement and wonder as they entered, but it wasn't long before their dreams of a serene getaway began to unravel. Unexplained noises, like whispered conversations in the dead of night, sent shivers down their spines. Shadowy figures flickered at the edge of their vision, leaving them questioning their sanity. The once promised serenity had transformed into an unsettling nightmare. The ship's security personnel, initially dismissive of their fears, were drawn to the cabin by the family's persistent complaints. What they found inside would chill their bones. A cryptic message, eerily written in blood, adorned the cabin's wall. Panic rippled through passengers like wildfire, and they began to demand answers from the increasingly elusive crew. As fear and paranoia spread among the passengers, a historian among them couldn't resist the allure of the ship's dark history. He delved deep into dusty archives, uncovering a grim past that had been concealed for decades. The ship, it turned out, was no ordinary vessel. It had earned its name, the Serenity, ironically, from the countless mysteries that shrouded its previous voyages. Incidents of death, madness, and disappearances that had never been solved hung like a dark cloud over the ship's legacy. News of the ship's sinister history traveled quickly among the passengers, stoking their unease. The realization that they were aboard a vessel steeped in tragedy and the unknown cast a long, chilling shadow over their once promising voyage. Amidst the growing unease, a glimmer of hope emerged. Renowned paranormal investigator Dr. Emily Hawthorne and her team arrived on the Serenity, their presence both a comfort and an unsettling reminder of the looming mysteries. Passengers watched with a mix of hope and trepidation as Dr. Hawthorne began to meticulously document and investigate the supernatural occurrences that had plagued the ship. Her reputation as a fearless investigator had earned her the trust of those seeking answers, even as skepticism still lingered. The ship's crew, meanwhile, maintained an increasingly elusive demeanor, fueling suspicions that they were hiding their own fears and knowledge of the ship's haunting past. As the nights grew darker and the ship sailed deeper into uncharted waters, the eerie occurrences on board escalated. Crew members, typically a stalwart presence, began to act erratically. Some vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispered rumors among the remaining crew. Passengers grew increasingly suspicious, believing that the crew held the key to understanding the haunting. Whispers in the corridors and hushed conversations in dimly lit corners of the ship revealed a growing divide between those who sought answers and those who feared the truth. Dr. Hawthorne, undeterred by the escalating tension, decided to conduct a midnight seance in the ship's grand ballroom. Passengers gathered, their curiosity overcoming their skepticism as they hoped to witness ghostly apparitions and receive terrifying messages from the other side. The ballroom, bathed in an eerie, otherworldly glow, became a place where the lines between the living and the dead began to blur. With each passing day, the Serenity ventured further into the cursed waters. Revelations about the ship's previous voyages emerged, painting a grim picture of its sinister connection to the deep ocean. Passengers were gripped by terror as they learned of past voyages where passengers had mysteriously vanished at sea, leaving behind only unanswered questions and unresolved mysteries. The ship's dark secret seemed to be an inextricable part of its history, a malevolent presence lurking beneath the surface of their reality. As the ship continued its journey, passengers experienced vivid and horrifying nightmares that blurred the lines between dreams and reality. Dr. Hawthorne's sanity began to unravel as she struggled to comprehend the malevolent forces at play, and her determination to uncover the truth intensified. At the stroke of midnight, an unearthly melody emanated from the ship's grand piano. Passengers, unable to resist the haunting music, were drawn to the ballroom like moths to a flame. There, they encountered spectral musicians, trapped in an eternal performance of despair. Their faces bore expressions of anguish, and their instruments seemed to weep as they played a dirge that resonated with the deepest fears of those who listened. The ship veered off course, entering a fog-shrouded, cursed part of the ocean where time and reality twisted like a maddening vortex. Passengers and crew alike faced increasingly bizarre and supernatural phenomena, their world spiraling into a nightmarish realm beyond comprehension. Amidst an intense storm that trapped the ship in the cursed waters, passengers and crew found themselves relentlessly stalked by vengeful spirits of those lost at sea. Faces from the past, their eyes filled with accusation and sorrow, materialized in the howling winds and crashing waves. Desperation and fear spread like wildfire, and the crew's attempts to maintain order faltered as the malevolent entities exacted their vengeance. Dr. Hawthorne's team, burdened with the knowledge of the ship's grim history, knew they had to act swiftly to confront the darkness that had taken hold. Dr. Hawthorne's team discovered an ancient and malevolent entity imprisoned in the ship's hull, a force so powerful that it threatened to consume the very soul of the ship. Desperate attempts to contain it led to further chaos as the ship's interior transformed into a labyrinth of terror. A fierce battle between the entity and Dr. Hawthorne's team unfolded, testing their resolve and bravery. The ship became a battleground between the living and the vengeful dead, a place where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural blurred, and where sacrifices had to be made to save the remaining souls. A final confrontation with the entity revealed its tragic origin and its demand for vengeance. Choices had to be made, and the price was steep as the entity exacted its toll. The ship, caught in an otherworldly tempest, neared the heart of the cursed waters, and passengers made desperate choices to survive. Survivors managed to escape the ship, but the ordeal was far from over. The ship's curse followed them, leaving them forever haunted and changed. Their lives bore the scars of the malevolent force that had once held them captive, a haunting reminder that some secrets should remain buried in the depths of the ocean. The survivors returned to land, their tales of horror forever etched in their minds. The curse of the Serenity remained a chilling legend in maritime history, a tale whispered among sailors on moonless nights, ensuring that the horrors of the ship would never be forgotten.